Namaste, welcome back to Suvi English channel. In today's session, I am going to discuss an essay titled Who Can Be Called a Great Man? This essay is an extract from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's speech on the 101st birth anniversary of Mahadev Govind Ranade in Pune. We all know that Mahadev Govind Ranade was a well-known social reformer who worked for the welfare of society, especially for women's welfare. He worked for women's education, abolition of child marriage, and promotion of widow remarriage. He also served as the Chief Justice for Bombay High Court from 1885 to 1895. His 101st birth anniversary was held in Pune on 18th January 1943. And to this program, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was invited, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar accepted the invitation and delivered a speech called Ranade, Gandhi and Jinnah. This was the title of the speech that Ambedkar delivered on the 101st birth anniversary of Ranade. And in the speech, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar talked about some of the qualities that make a man truly great. He first asked a thought-provoking question: who can be called a great man? Sometimes we call someone very great if he achieves something in his life. For example, in a cricket match, if some player scores 100 runs, we call him great. But is he truly great? No, he cannot become great just because he has scored 100 runs. If he does not have a fair game, if he does not respect his co-players, if he does not behave well with the team members, he cannot be called as a great man. Likewise, if someone gets a government job by bribing some official, can we call him great man? No, we cannot call him great man. Though he acquires high position in the administration, he cannot be called great man. You may be having a big palace, you may be having 100 luxurious cars, you may be a landlord, you may be a politician, you may be a teacher, you may be a doctor, whoever you may be. But if you do not have some required qualities, you cannot be called as great man. Then who can be called a great man? And how to measure the greatness of a man? In this essay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar uses some tools to measure the greatness of a man. First, he talks about some of the historical military heroes of the world like Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Napoleon Bonaparte, and many more leaders. And according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, these military heroes cannot be called as great men, though they had conquered the world. We have heard about a very famous Greek military hero called Alexander the Great. He had fought many wars and had conquered almost half of the world. But though he conquered all this, though he had great achievements, Alexander the Great cannot be called as great man. The reasons why we cannot call this Alexander Great as a great man, because he had military power and he could conquer all this, but all his achievements resulted in massive destruction, and all those achievements were for personal ambition. They had no impact, they had no positive impact on the people or on the society. So in that case, Alexander the Great cannot be called as great. Like Alexander the Great, we have heard about a very famous Roman emperor, Julius Caesar. He was also very powerful emperor, and he had conquered many parts of the world, and he had many achievements in his life. He was so powerful emperor. He used to always say, I came, I saw, and I conquered. This was his famous dialogue. Such a powerful emperor he was. Even the most famous English writer, William Shakespeare, wrote about this Julius Caesar. But even then, can we call him great man? No, we cannot call him great man. We have one more military officer mentioned in this essay called Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was a French military officer who conquered much of Europe, but then also he cannot be called as a great man. Many people criticized his achievements. Like these military heroes, as mentioned by Ambedkar, there may be the achievers from different fields like cinema, politics, sports, and etc. What makes them really great? What makes them truly great? In this essay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar uses some parameters or some tools to measure the greatness of a man. And he could do all this as he had studied some of the opinions, some of the ideas of some historians and writers like Thomas Carlyle and Lord Rosebery. And after studying Thomas Carlyle's and Lord Rosebery, Dr. Ambedkar finds three important qualities that make a man truly great. They are sincerity, intellect, and willingness to serve the society. One should have these three qualities to be called as a great man. And anybody can become a great man with these qualities. And when you talk about sincerity, there should be genuine sincerity and honesty. That means you should be truly sincere, and that sincerity should come naturally, not because someone is observing you, not because someone is supervising you, you show your sincerity. That sincerity should be there naturally within you. That's the first quality that Ambedkar mentions in this essay. And the second quality one should have to be called as a great man is intellect. If you have sincerity and if you do not have this intellectuality or wisdom, that doesn't make you a great man. So it is equally important to be intellectual and gain some wisdom in addition to this sincerity to be great. And even if you have these two qualities like sincerity and intellectuality, still you cannot be called a great man if you are not service minded. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar argues that in addition to sincerity and intellect, if one does not have the service mindedness, if one is not willing to serve the society, he cannot be called a great man. We see many people being very sincere and very intellectual, but they are not truly great because they are not service minded, they do not have helping nature. If you want to be great, you must possess all these three qualities: sincerity, intellectuality, or wisdom, and also the willingness to serve the society. And there are many such leaders in the history of our world who were sincere, who were intellectual, who were service minded. And from them we can take some inspiration and we can also be great. Not only in the past, at present times also, we find such great men with these three qualities: sincere, intellectual, and service mindedness. So, we find people with these qualities from whom we can take inspiration. Let us take inspiration from such examples and let's also be great. We must be specially grateful to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar for providing this wonderful formula to become a great man or a great woman. So, this is all about the essay, Who Can Be Called a Great Man. Thank you for watching.